and put some work clothes on. Yesterday was my daughter's graduation, but today I wanted to talk to you just briefly. It's not going to be a long, drawn out live, but I want to talk to you briefly about Labette Correctional Conservation Camp. Labette Correctional Conservation Camp, which I had experience there. From my understanding, they closed down in June 2009. I had my experience there in 2006, and this is how it all happened. I was on the run for about 5 months for a drug charge, um, possession of marijuana with intent to sell. I went to court. They gave me probation. It's a felony charge. Gave me probation. I did a year on probation, no problems. I was trying to get in-state compact. They wouldn't give it to me. And I was in Kansas. I didn't know people like that in Kansas. And so I violated my probation. Went on the run for 5 months. They caught up to me because they kicked the door down on one of my homeboys that I was chilling at their spot, and the police seen somebody outside with a weed pipe, so they gave them probable cause to think it was drugs in that spot. So they kicked the door down. I was in there. They got me. But at this point, they already knew who I was because I was on the run for 5 months. So I was like wanted throughout the whole city. So they locked me up, and while I was locked up, I was waiting to go to trial for the new case they putting on me, and they hit me. They had me go to court for my probation violation. My probation violation. They said, "Hey, we're gonna send you to Labette Correctional Conservation Camp for 5 months in the day. Well, it's 5 months in a week." So they sent me there, and when I got there, I was thinking like, "Oh, this gonna be a piece of cake because I already was in the military, so I already know how the military drills go, PT, everything like that. So it wasn't no problem. So I go in there, and it was really racist. I was in Kansas, so it was really it was racist beyond measures. Hi to you, Sophia. How you doing? It was really a racist experience, but good came out of it. So this is why I'm telling this story. So when I got there, I had a problem with following orders and listening to authority. So I was always in the push-up position, and they was always trying to get me to do push-ups all day, every day. It was crazy because instead of them writing me up and me getting in trouble, they put me in the push-up position. And so one day I was I was in the barracks, and then they told us we finna go outside because it's like an obstacle course outside. So we all lined up to go to the obstacle course, and we all in the line. It's like maybe 50 people, and we all lined up, and so it's a rope ladder that's like 40 feet in the air. Each person had to go up the ladder and then go down into the obstacle course and do the rest of the obstacle course. It was one specific guy. He had he was a white guy. He was a huge white guy. He was like one of them country fed white guys, like 6'4", 6'5". He was just huge. He goes up the ladder and he gets like halfway up the ladder. And he was afraid of heights the whole time when they was telling him to go up the ladder. Now this like a 40 foot ladder, probably a little more. But he got halfway and he just stuck. He's on the ladder. And it's a rope ladder, so it ain't got no sturdiness like regular ladders that can go on the ground and it's sturdy. He, he's on the ladder and he started wiggling it around, and they telling him to calm down, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna fall," and I'm like, "Please don't let this man fall. He's really high up. He got about like a 20 feet drop. He's on there, and the drill sergeant, he's like, hey, just calm down. You can do it. Just keep on going up." So the drill sergeant trying to encourage him to go up, and he want to come back down because he's afraid of heights. So the man, he just keep on trying to go up. He grabbed the next rung on the rope and pull up a little bit, and then the rope started wiggling again. Then he screamed out. He said, "Oh no, I'm about to fall!" And the drill sergeant said, "You better not fall." He's yelling at him, and the dude's like, "Oh no, oh no!" He let go, and we just seen him falling. Boom! He hit the ground. It was like a big old thud, like a miniature grenade that went off when he hit the ground. It was like boom. Everybody like, oh. It, the drill sergeant was like telling us to turn around because they don't want us to see him hurt like that. But we already seen it. We standing in the line waiting our turn to go up the ladder. So we already seen everything. So the dude, he laid there. We thought he was gone because that was a big drop. He just hit the ground, boom, and he wasn't moving or nothing. I was like, dang. So they sent us back into the barracks. So ain't nobody get to go on the obstacle course like that because he fell off the ladder or whatever. They had him go to the hospital, and instead of him going home, he decided to continue and stay. And he was a really nice guy. But it was another day, like this is before I had got saved and I seen what I seen. But it was another white guy. We in the barracks at the lights will go out, and yeah, at nighttime we don't really get to talk like that. So at nighttime people be chatting a little bit, telling jokes or whatever. I'm in the rack right next to this white guy, and I'm telling jokes, and everybody laughing and stuff, whatever like that. And the white guy, he's like, "Man, shut up." I'm trying to go to sleep, and Will's like, why you talking to us like that? Like, he came off already wrong. He was talking to us like in the form of calling us a boy, and it's like, boy, shut up, and all this kind of stuff, doing the racist tip, and it's like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna get out my rack and I'm gonna punch you in your face and all this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, I'm shaking in my rack. And I made the gesture like me shaking and stuff in the rack, and everybody started laughing and stuff. He hops out of his bed, and then so he get over to my bed, and then I just slickly get out the bed and hit him with a quick combo. Boom, 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 boom. He done fell by his bed again. And he on the floor, and I'm just tagging his face. Bow, 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 bow. Little did I know that the guard, the other sergeant or whatever, she's like the nighttime lady. She's in the room watching the whole thing the whole time. We didn't know though, because she was just over there real quiet. She wasn't patrolling or nothing. She was just sitting in her chair over there. She seen the whole thing. So I get back in my rack. I go to sleep. The next morning, they call us in the office, me and her, and they say, I know what happened last night. And I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. But they was like, yeah, we seen the whole thing. And I said, man. So they rid us up, and I had to do a rock pile. Now, if you ever went to Labette Correctional Conservation Camp, they had this huge rock pile. They call it the rock pile because it's like a pile of rocks. It's like 20. It's like 16 to 20,000 rocks, and it's all in the pile. They give you a wheelbarrow, and you have to put all of the rocks at one in the wheelbarrow and travel them over to another spot, dump them, come back to that pile, put more rocks until all the rocks are gone out of that spot. Now I was lucky because I got the rock pile. Some people they had to do the smiley face, which is the septic tank. They get a toothbrush and they had to go to the septic tank and clean the whole septic tank out. They call it smiley face. Well, I had the rock pile, so I did the rock pile in 4.5 hours. I was just piling the rocks up, and they all different rocks, all different kind of sizes. Big rocks, small rocks, little rocks, no pebbles or nothing. They just rocks, different sizes or whatever. So I'll put them in the wheelbarrow, and I take them back and forth. 4.5 hours straight. I ain't even had no breaks or nothing like that. I'm just trying to knock it out the way. I did it in 4.5 hours. Then I was like, man, I need to find something to do with my time. So I started going to church. I was already reading my Bible and stuff like that. So I started going to the little church they have on the Sundays or whatever. And this volunteer minister pastor, he was a God for real. And I decided to get saved in there. He opened my eyes completely. Like, I was able to see people for who they truly are. Like, not their fleshly essence, but their spiritual essence. Like, it was a guy that was in the bunk that was next to my bunk. He was on top bunk, white guy. When I seen him, he was so bright you could barely see the features on his face. He had he had bright light wings. I looked across. I seen another guy He had the same thing going on, but it was complete darkness, and the wings was broken. It like had holes in the wings, and they were broken. I thought something was going on with my mind and stuff, but that was God showing me people for who they truly are. I ain't never doubted God. After I seen that, I ain't never doubted God. And one day we left church. They let us go outside to get a breath of fresh air. We looking in the clouds and stuff. And the drill sergeant, he say, "Look at that! Look at that!" It was a face in the clouds. It was a face in the clouds. I can't say who face it was, but it was definitely a face in the clouds. And my sergeant he was taking pictures because none of us had phones. She the only one had a phone. So they took the pictures, and I don't know if he's still out there. He could tell you that story. He was the sergeant over there. I forgot his name. Yeah, but Labette Correctional Conservation Camp. I had a lot of experiences there, and overall, I say if you're younger, you get into a situation that would have been the ideal spot to go to, but I recently found out that they closed it down June of 2009. That's a long time ago. That's a long time ago. But I'm saying that to say sometimes people get in trouble for God to steer them in a certain direction. You never know the reasoning behind what he's doing, but he's trying to give you what you asked for. If you ask for a certain thing, it probably ain't gonna go how you think it's gonna go. It's gonna go how he set the path for it to go. Sometimes we get in our way and we don't understand that he always have our best interests at heart. You know, that's my experience at the Beck Correctional Conservation Camp, and I graduated that program. And the crazy thing is, when I got out of the program, they still put me on probation for what another 6 months or so. I was trying to get interstate compact. They wouldn't give it to me, so I just said forget it. And they sent me to prison. And when I got out of prison, I put my best foot forward every single day. Got job after job after job after job. So I was like, hey man, I need to work for myself. And that's the best decision that I ever made. Because I can dedicate more time to God, more time to my family, more time to things I like to do. But see, thing is, when you be transparent like they tell you to, they get scared of that because there's too much fakeness going on. You can't tell them the real you.